And he's given him. Has he given him? No, he's given leg byes. Certainly the hand came out. That brings the 200 up. Big appeal for LBW. Umpire Palmer's right hand started to come out as though he'd given him out. But the batsman can breathe again.
One more run added to take England up to 202 for 8 at stumps. Not at batsman Caddick 6 and Such on 9. 65 to Gooch, 19 to Atherton, 34 to Hick, who I thought played very well today, and 27 to Stewart. And the bowling figures for Australia: McDermott wicketless, Hughes 3 for 52, did a terrific job, Julian 2 for 30, and Warne, his first bowl in a test match in England, 21 overs, 7 maidens, and 3 for 51. Total with Gooch top score 65, and the bowling figures, well, the main man there is Shane Warne, 3 for 51, he bowled magnificently, he spun the ball a great deal, and Hughes will probably be his main partner this morning, 3 for 52, 17 overs and 5 maidens, also bowled very well. The conditions are excellent. There'll certainly be some more spin in the pitch there. We join it in the second over now with 1 run added. Shane Warne, the leg spinner, is bowling, and Andrew Caddick is taking strike. Straight up in the air, wicket keeper's catch, and another one for Shane Warne. Well, that wasn't quite what Andrew Caddick had in mind when he went out to bat. You can be guaranteed that. The lift of the eyes to the heavens would underline that point. Shane Warne has another one, very important wicket, because it's just stopped this partnership pushing along into a dangerous area.
Yes, it is right across against the spin. As I did say, I think these two batsmen would have been far better changing ends. Such against the leg spin and Caddick against the quickies. Unfortunately, it didn't work out that way, and Shane Warne got it to Caddick straight away. And that was the result. So another one for Shane Warne, and what a good test he's having.
Good shot. Peter Such has done the right thing straight away. He has a good appreciation of Phil Tufnell's batting ability, and he needs to get what he can.
I think also his own batting ability against the quicker bowlers. He was giving himself rather a bit of room there. Did well to reach it at the finish. Well, I'm not sure Peter Such knows which way to go to get out of the way of the ball.
Well, on the score of numbers, he's due to stay exactly where he's standing for the next one.
Well, it's a good job there's not a short leg in there. Trample him to death.
There goes, and last man out, Phil Tufnell. Just took evasive action there. It didn't look as though that got up anywhere near the amount he thought it would. And he has gone. The England innings is complete on 210. 79 the lead for Australia. Deserved wicket for Merv Hughes, who's bowled very well all the way through. And an outstanding performance from Shane Warne. Well, that's a very good performance by the Australians to knock over those last 2 wickets this morning. 210 all out England, with Peter Such. He's having a good match, isn't he? 6 wickets on debut and then unbeaten on 14. The bowling figures for the Australians: Warne and Hughes, each 4 wickets, 4 for 59 for Hughes and 4 for 51 for Shane Warne. And the situation in the match, the Australians are 79 runs ahead. We join play now in the first over. It's 3 for no wicket. And coming into bowl is Andrew Caddick. Taking strike is Mark Taylor.
Well, That's let Taylor know he's about. My word, that was a pretty spectacular delivery.
Well, this is better bowling, isn't it? Quick and straight, making the batsman take evasive action. That's what you want. No good bowling bounces too high or too wide of the batsman, so he doesn't have to really take evasive action.
That is a big shout. England do need a wicket. May have got a fingertip to that. It won't make any difference.
Beautiful shot. Love the way that Mark Taylor waited for the ball. It's quite a slow pitch. Just waited, picked the gap square on the offside. Yes, Peter Such has come on now. I think that's a very strong and positive move by Graham Gooch. It's the 9th over of the innings, so he's come on extremely early, 22 for no wicket. That's the end from which the wickets have fallen to spin. Oh, that must be close. And that's out. Very well up. It might actually have caught Mark Taylor without bouncing. He'd certainly moved across in front of his stumps to play the shot, and remember that Peter Such was bowling over the wickets from close. He had a very good chance of the flight going wicket to wicket, but Mark Taylor's gone. LBW bowls Such for 9, and the first wicket has fallen for 23.
It wasn't a full-blooded sweep from Mark Taylor. I think he was just trying to guide it around to a fine leg. Ball just curving a little there and hitting the back pad. So I think that's a pretty fair decision from umpire Palmer. It certainly wasn't pitching outside leg stump. Taylor really missing the ball on the full.
That looked a long haul for Mike Gatting. Again, Mike Gatting has to sprint. Now, Chris Lewis might have got a fingertip to that. There's a lot of field out there for Gat at mid-on.
A few flecks of grey in that beard too that Gat's sporting. Some very good footwork with his first chase. The captain now perhaps taking a bit of pity on him.
That's a bad ball, well dispatched by David Boone. Really Phil Tufnell is drifting the ball across. No sign of the sharp turn required if he's to bowl that line. and may well need a chat to the captain to change the line more towards off stump.
That's good footwork. No shortage of confidence from Slater.
Just a little bit straight again there, Peter Search. That allows him to whip it through mid-wicket.
And he's gone. Such has his second wicket. Slater is caught by Carrick at mid-on. Down the track, tried to loft over the top. And he'll have plenty of time to think about whether or not that was a good thing to attempt.
Well, there was nobody out on the boundary. It's a free hit if you can hit it, but on this type of pitch where the ball sometimes turns, sometimes doesn't, you've got to get right to it and hit it in the middle of the bat, and that's not always easy. That occasion he didn't quite time it right, and a very comfortable catch there for Carrick at mid-on.
9 more runs added to take the Australians up to 55 for 2 at lunch on the third day. Slater out for 27, Taylor for 9. Such has both wickets. He's certainly having a good match. And Boone is 15 not out. And Mark Waugh is unbeaten on 4. The Australian lead 134. England's bowling figures. Just 2 wickets there for 11 runs from 8 overs and 3 maidens for Such, and 4 other bowlers used. We join play now in the third over after lunch. 3 runs have been added, and it's Carrick bowling to Mark Waugh.
No need to run. 4 of them.
Well, Mark Waugh showing a great deal of patience, waiting for the bad ball, and then putting it away quite nicely.
Great shot. Made by the footwork.
Well, lovely cricket by David Boone. He's obviously been waiting and waiting for the right ball, and then he's picked it beautifully. Lovely chasse of the feet, the gap, hit it crisply, not too hard. Super timing.
That was a fine shot. I really aimed there. He cracked it straight. That was an extremely good shot. That right to the pitch.
Looked as though David Boone may have even been intending to hit that one over the top.
Oh, well timed. It hopped up off that artificial pitch, that cover. Chase for Mike Gatting. And a huge effort to throw. Now that was a certain 4, really. The ball hit space, but it jammed against the side of that artificial pitch and hopped up in the air.
Mike Gatting had actually given up the chase. He'd conceded that it was 4 from the moment it was hit. You'll see him here. He's just going to turn and jog after the ball, and suddenly it hits the edge of the pitch. And that revives Gatting's hopes, and he tears off after it.
Well, for a moment, English hopes soared there as David Boone sauntered down the pitch. And De Freitas, of course, very athletically follows through. Oops. How close was that? Third umpire job, I think, but it might well have gone. Well, loose ball, but beautifully put away. And that's Test cricket. Full of ball that's short and wide, and suddenly you hear the classical ring of the bat, and it fires away through the covers. 50 partnership, 99 for 2. Oops, and that went and lifted. Well, where's that one been all day? And 178 for 2, effectively, the Australian score. That can't be good news for England.
Just Phil Tufnell just seemed to slow up his run up a little bit there, and he got really good flight on that delivery. That's the Phil Tufnell that we saw in Australia a couple of seasons ago.
Lovely stroke. Beautifully played, with the spin, classical. Robert Smith's turn, but the ball was going faster and faster away from him across the boundary rope.
Tufnell has reverted to the quicker run-up there and the quicker delivery, and he's just not the same bowler with a quick run-up.
And again, now you can tell the man when he's really in, because he knows instinctively where the gaps in the field are waiting. Very rarely now hitting a fielder, lying back and waiting and just knowing exactly where to penetrate the covers.
One overthrow there. Only 3 men on the onside for Tufnell to Waugh. A good running again. Caddick the fielder, good powerful arm, and he moved well to the ball. That was beautifully placed by Mark Waugh, who already at Edgbaston has shown us how well he places the ball. Oh, how did that get through without hitting the stumps?
Well, it's one of the few that Peter Such didn't turn, I think. It just went straight on. It never really turned at all. It was a poor shot from Mark Waugh. First indiscreet shot he's played this afternoon. He's been very solid and compact, patient.
It's a cracking stroke. The others Lewis has been bowling there. Waugh's been trying to smash them, and he hasn't made contact with one. He just waited for that, just picked it up and helped it on its way past square leg.
Yeah, it's a lovely controlled short arm pull. Not much follow through, not much backlift. Control was there, where the rest of the time he's been trying to smite them hard and hit them as far as he could, and he's missed every one till that short arm pull.
Waugh has dealt with that beautifully. That's a terrific hit. Not dissimilar to the one earlier in the over, except he hit it upwards and at the same time brought up his half century. The Australian lead is over 200 now.
Well, Chris Lewis telegraphed his intent to Mark Waugh. It was a gift delivery that took him to his half century. Okay to have a bit of aggression as a bowler against the batsman when you want to pick your pitches. This is not exactly the surface to keep bouncing a batsman on and a batsman that's in.
Put it down. It was going for 4 at a terrific pace. Robert Smith has dived away to his right and just got his hand to it.
Well, a controlled square cut from Mark Waugh, trying to get over the top of it and help it away, but he got it to the right of Robin Smith, and he made an acrobatic attempt. A good effort.
This might be trouble with the hits, but no. Second time that there's been a chance of a run-out. It was Boone in the first place when De Freitas missed, and this one of Mark Waugh must have been some sort of chance had it hit. Tight enough, but probably the batsman just about made it. There we are, there's the Super Tram, which is the old Warwick Road station. Full perhaps of England supporters who are going somewhere else at the moment. And well, after that shot.
Well, that was a shot of a batsman growing in confidence, getting confidence in the pitch. That was on the up. The weight was on the front foot, but it was really just short of a length. Hitting the ball at the top of the bounce. It wasn't a half volley. 4 runs though.
One ball and over at least at the moment. You wonder, Raymond, just how long Graham Gooch can let this go.
Well, they can't really get it going any longer. The position they're now getting themselves into. Again, it was a good shot. Width was the thing there. It was short of a half volley, goodish length, but hitting the ball at the top of the bounce again. Wasn't a half volley, you can see that, but weight on the front foot, on the up, and that is showing a lot of confidence now.
And that's the 100 partnership. Both these batsmen now looking well set as the tea interval approaches. Well, that's the way to greet him. Made up his mind almost as such, set off to bowl. Super footwork.
Well, it was a little bit risky because it was a little bit down leg side. If that had just turned a fraction more, Carrick, who was out at deep square just behind, that could well have gone to him. See, there's really no spin there at all. If that had just turned a little, that would have gone squarer, and that could have been a catch. And been very annoyed with himself then, having not had a look at the search from this end first.
Well, Mark Waugh's playing a terrific innings, and so is David Boone, of a different sort. Again, he set himself out to anchor this innings, put his side out of reach. Still play shots like that. It's going to be tight. Well, this has been Australia's day, utterly and completely. Lovely placement and use of the wrists. Oh, bowled him. Bowled him. Got himself into a real tangle, did Waugh. And right on the stroke of tea, 2 or 3 minutes to go. Now let's see if that ball pitched outside the stumps or not, because if it did, then really that was unforgivable for Waugh to leave room for the ball to go into the stumps, playing that sort of shot just before the interval. But good bowling, and out for 64. It's been a good innings, and 155 for 3.
Well, it certainly pitched well outside the leg stump. I mean, that's pitching a foot outside. Probably just went off the pad like we've been talking about, and it's in the off stump. That's a poor shot. To try and hit with a straight bat, wide of mid-on, a ball pitching a foot outside leg stump almost. Well, that's a bad shot. Very risky. Admittedly, it's the first ball that Tufnell's really got in the right place. It's turned, but it's still a poor shot. A risky shot, and a shot that should not really have been played at any time, but especially just before tea.
Alan Border coming into as near a perfect a match situation as any captain could want. The side 234 in front, still plenty in the pitch. And there we are, that ball pitching several inches outside leg stump to hit the top of off stump there. That really was an eccentric piece of batting by a young man who'd done most things right so well this afternoon. Look of disgust as he turns away.
Yeah, I think it probably just hit the knee of his right leg, and that's probably what went onto the off stump then.
Splendid innings.
Difficult for the left-hander when he first comes in. Men round the bat, or pitched into that rough. Not easy.
Not asking, but I think more excitement than anything else.
You can see he got just outside the line of off stump, probably hit the stumps. He was playing a shot, otherwise that could have been out.
Just before tea, but that's the answer. Because Alan Border got off the mark in pretty exciting fashion in the first innings, hitting one over the top.
Yes, Alan Border won't be dictated to, but he's got to take a chance coming straight in there, anything out of the rough. Just got too wide for the rough there, did Phil Tufnell. That gave him a chance to hit it through cover.
159 for 3 at tea for Australia. Slater out for 27 and Taylor for 9. Mark Waugh for 64. The unbeaten men, Boone on 48. And Border just had to face those 2 balls. He's unbeaten on 4. And the bowling figures for England, a good performance there once again from Such. 16 overs, 4 maidens and 2 for 33. We join play now in the second over after the tea interval. 3 runs have been added. Tufnell is the bowler and David Boone is taking strike. Fielded.
It's an extraordinary shot. See the ball's pitching outside leg stump. He's trying to run away and cut it. Very, very dangerous shot. See the arms of Philip Tufnell. He knew how near it was to a wicket. A surprising experienced batsman like David Boone.
And 50 to David Boone. Very, very good cricketer for Australia. Just got a couple there. Just so Boone checked his shot a little bit there. Last moment, hitting across the spin. Still kept it down.
Well, it was good, thoughtful batting. You've always got to be careful on these slow-turning pitches. You can't just go in and try and play full-blooded shots all the time. You've got to be prepared to stop your shot and just push it carefully, time it. The most important asset of all is patience. Beautifully bowled and played. That was very watchful by David Boone. The ball turned from out of the rough, but he waited, stopped his shot. Well, it happens to everybody at some time or another, and it's quite embarrassing. It seems quite simple, and it is. It just lets the pressure off the batsman. That's what's infuriating for the bowler and the captain setting fields.
chance of Such getting that. And you do have to bowl very accurately if you're going to bowl it outside the line of leg stump. Has to go into the rough, not a way out there.
The scoreboard is mounting in Australia's favour, and England need a wicket. I always keep saying that on these sort of pitches in particular, one wicket could precipitate a mini collapse.
And there's been a lot of attack of leg stump on outside. Mike Gatting, the fielder. Andrew Caddick. Lovely throw. And that's what England must do. They must keep their standards, whatever they're trying to do. A throw from the boundary, a stop anywhere, you simply have to keep your standards up and your spirits up.
That brings up the 200. It's come off 71 overs, so a run rate of nearly 3. The England bowlers have got 3 wickets so far. 2 to Such and 1 to Tufnell. Well, a blast from the past, or one from the present, or they hope for the future. The pattern of this innings suddenly seems almost inevitable. So much of this match, the batsmen have struggled away and fought it out, and here they're just picking off 1s and 2s, not quite as they want them, but too regularly, certainly for England's comfort. Nicely controlled sweep from Border. Didn't want to put too much bat on it because of the Andrew Caddick, the man down there, a deep fine leg, just enough to get a run. That's all he wanted. Just not trying to hit it hard at all, just help it on its way. Boone now in little trouble, just picking them off. It was a day that always could go Australia's way if they could wrap up England, which they did, and avoid too many disasters at the top of the order, which they have. And the pitch getting better for batting, then really they've clamped down on this match.
Cracking shot. Made 21 in the first innings, David Boone, before he was caught at slip off the off-spinner Peter Such.
Nice shot there, he's picked his spot. A very slow off-spinner is Graham Hick, lots of loop.
That's 221 for 3 now, and the lead is exactly 300. That's perfectly timed. When he played that, when it left the bat, I reckon for a moment that he hadn't got it right off the meat.
Lovely feet movement. Both batsmen in, particularly David Boone.
Spun that sharply, coming around the wicket. First ball he's bowled to Alan Border from that end. Really gripped.
Yeah, it's a beautiful, slightly quicker ball too.
Well, that one certainly gripped from Graham Hick to Alan Border, went past the outside edge. Border still there on 29 and Boone on 85, and with 4 runs added, the total at the end of the day for Australia, 231 for 3. The bowling figures for England, Such 2 for 51 and Tufner 1 for 63. The rest, well, they didn't get past the outside edge too much. And the state of play at the close of the third day, Australia 289 all out and 231 for 3. England 210 all out. Australia 310 runs ahead with 2 days to go. He's bowling the second ball.